Doctor Who, Story by Story, Invasion of the Dinosaurs Review. Invasion of the Dinosaurs is the name of a Doctor Who story that was broadcast second in the 11th season of Doctor Who, broadcast from the 12th of January 1974 to the 16th of February. It was the fifth and final season to star Jon Pertwee as the Third Doctor, accompanied by his new companion Sarah Jane Smith, played by Elizabeth Sladen in her first season in the role. The serial also saw the return of Nicholas Courtney as Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart, along with fellow unit regulars John Levine as Sergeant Benton and Mike Yates, played by Richard Franklin. The story was written by veteran Who writer Malcolm Hulke and directed by Paddy Russell. Invasion of the Dinosaurs was one of the last serials to be produced by Barry Letts and script edited by Terence Dicks. Plot. Following the events of the Time Warrior, the Doctor and Sarah return to London, only to find it largely unoccupied, having been evacuated due to an outbreak of mysterious appearances by none other than prehistoric dinosaurs. As the Doctor attempts to work with UNIT and figure out how and why the dinosaurs are appearing, he begins to realize that the monster's appearance is really just a cover for a sinister conspiracy being carried out at the heart of the now evacuated city. A conspiracy that may reach into the government and even UNIT itself. Guest cast. The guest cast for this serial includes Noel Johnson as Sir Charles Grover. John Bennett plays General Finch, Bennett later appearing in The Talons of Weng-Chiang with Tom Baker in season 14. Also appearing in Invasion of the Dinosaurs are veteran British actor Martin Jarvis, who would later reappear in the Colin Baker story Vengeance on Varos, and Peter Miles, who had previously appeared in the Jon Pertwee story The Silurians, and who would make his most famous Doctor Who appearance as Davros's fascistic second-in-command Nyder in the following season's Genesis of the Daleks. Trivia. The first episode was titled simply Invasion, in a bid to keep it a surprise to the audience that dinosaurs were to be the story's main monsters. However, this attempt was rather scuppered by Radio Times, which pretty much blew the gaff, much to the production team's annoyance. Episode 1 only exists as a black and white film recording. Attempts to recolorize the episode for the DVD release were deemed unsatisfactory, and while the colorized version was included on the DVD, it was included as an optional extra rather than the main thing in the Play All section, which remains the black and white version. Whether there will be further attempts to colorize episode 1 for the season 11 Blu-ray whenever that comes out remains to be seen. The story was novelized by original writer Malcolm Hulke in 1976 under the title Doctor Who and the Dinosaur Invasion. The story was released on video in 2003 and was actually the last fully complete story to be released on VHS by the BBC. It was released on DVD in 2012 in a box set alongside the 1975 Tom Baker story The Android Invasion, calling itself the Unit Files set. The story was also released in the Doctor Who DVD files in 2013, and an reading of the novelization by Martin Jarvis was released on CD in November 2007. Reaction. The story rated well on television, ranging between 7.5 and 11 million across the source of 6 episodes. The story is also reasonably popular with Doctor Who fans. Although the realization of the dinosaurs, which also disappointed producer Barry Letts, gets the story a lot of stick, and may sometimes cause it to be underrated by fans, for whom that sort of thing is terribly important, many fans have re-evaluated the story in recent years as being a genuinely good conspiracy thriller with some really big, interesting ideas, as well as a surprising amount of plot twists, including treachery within UNIT itself. What I think. I really like Invasion of the Dinosaurs. As I may have noted before, this was actually the last classic Doctor Who story at the time that I hadn't seen before when I first saw it back in 2004. Now, at the time, it didn't seem very likely that we were going to find any more missing stories, and it didn't seem very likely that we were going to get any more animations at that point either. So I honestly felt that this was going to be the very last new story from the classic series that I would ever see. Fortunately, that turned out not to be the case, of course. We had Enemy of the World and Web of Fear found later on, and of course we've had some animations as well, such as Free from the Deep, Macra Terror, etc. Hopefully with more to come if they ever get around to releasing them. That being said, if it had been the last new classic story that I ever saw, it would have been going out pretty well, because I really enjoyed it at the time, and having watched it again just a couple of weeks ago, I still really enjoy it. Yeah, the dinosaurs are a bit crap. I don't know whether it's just me, whether it's just Doctor Who or me. It really doesn't bother me at all. It's just, I don't care. And there are some bits where they're realised quite well. I mean, the scene in the hangar is quite effective for all of the limitations. But above all, yeah, it's a good story. It's a good story that keeps interest across 6 episodes. It's got a good guest cast, and some of the twists are really quite surprising, particularly with Mike Yates's betrayal. It's a very unexpected development, and it makes you wonder how they came up with such an idea. It's certainly very unexpected and fairly dramatic and radical, but it works very well. Overall, I like Invasion of the Dinosaurs quite a lot. It's not an absolute favourite, not my absolute favourite of the Pertwee era, but it's certainly one of the ones that I respond to fairly favourably. I give Invasion of the Dinosaurs a very solid B+.